time now for us to take a look at the latest transfer news with Intuit QuickBooks.
Transfer window news alert on talkSPORT with Intuit QuickBooks. That's how you business differently. Search QuickBooks.
Okay, let's start with Manchester United, shall we? Because Jadon Sancho's nightmare at the club appears to be almost over, with a return to Borussia Dortmund on loan, reportedly close to completion. The England winger was banished by Erik Ten Hag to train with the club's academy teams back in September, and all came about after Sancho on social media suggested Ten Hag had been lying over his performance levels in training. It brings to an end a sorry saga, really, when you consider the potential of Jadon Sancho. And even when he was playing for Manchester United, he wasn't quite setting the world alight, but you felt like, give him time, he might well adjust. It's been a very disappointing time of Jadon Sancho at Manchester United. Yeah. And that's the only way you can look back at it right now and just think, it's just been a bit disappointing.
I never liked the idea of calling out the manager via social media.
No.
You go to his office, you knock on the door on Monday morning, you have an honest conversation in front of him. That's what you do. And if you look at his eyes and you know he's lying and he knows what he said, then you can deal with it then. I didn't like the way that was handled. I think the advice that Jadon had been given was the wrong one. It stopped him playing football, basically. That's what he done. That tweet stopped him playing.
Yeah.
Now he's getting the opportunity, hopefully, to sort of re-energise or reignite his career to play at Dortmund, where he had so much success. I didn't recognise Jadon Sancho, the one I watched at Dortmund. No. He looked like a completely different player. Looked like you signed his brother, that wasn't as good as him, because he never got going. He never got to the byline. He was doing things that all wingers should be doing. He wasn't doing them, sorry. He was... you've got to get to that byline. You've got to be putting crosses in. He was cutting inside all the time, but losing the ball and on the fringes of games way too often. So hopefully this can get him going now.
All right, well, that one looks to be coming to an end. talkSPORT also understands that Manchester United are not planning on offering Anthony Martial a new contract. He scored, 63 Premier League goals since becoming the world's most expensive teenager back in 2015 when he joined from Monaco for £50 million. What have you made of his time at Manchester United?
Brilliant moments, no consistency.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be the top players, and I've been lucky to play with a good few, and consistency is everything. It's your level of performance week in, week out, and that's just not been there with Anthony Martial. That's why he's been in and out the team for the best part of how long's he been there? 8 years, 9 years now? That's why he's been in and out the team under every manager, because his consistent levels have not been to the standard that's required at United.
Yeah. A couple of other lines to bring you. Calvin Phillips' potential move from Manchester City to Newcastle is in doubt due to the Premier League champions' demands, so we understand. The England midfielder is keen to make a switch to St James's Park, but City are looking for a loan fee of at least £5 million with an obligation to buy. Obviously, Phillips' time at City has been very restricted. He's barely really played since moving from Leeds. Does a move to Newcastle make sense if they can get a deal done?
Yes. I just look at Calvin and think, Gabbled.
Why? Why not stay in the Premier League?
I feel like it's a move that, look, he hasn't played at all, really, and it's been a really difficult time for him. But I just feel like, I know there was links with Juventus, and then when that came out, I thought, what an opportunity for you to go to a club like that abroad, complete change of lifestyle. Okay, I'm biased because I did it myself. I thought it was the perfect, cocktail for go on and move on again in your football career. And look, Newcastle's a great job. They're going through a difficult time. He's going into a team that are not playing as well. Juve are not far off the top of the Italian Serie A, so they're battling this year. And I just thought, if he could have got that move over the line, which was clearly there for a while, I would have opted for that. It can't be about money. This decision for Calvin cannot be about money. And I know the clubs are disagreeing on fees and whatever, but for him, I think it's about getting back playing. He's got the Euros in the summer. If he's got any chance of playing, he's got to be playing football right now to the end of the season.
So it's the team that offers him that first team, guaranteed first team football, or as guaranteed as it can be anyway. And just lastly, Brentford supposedly have slapped a £100 million price tag on Ivan Toney, someone you mentioned a little bit earlier on. Do you expect him to be sold?
Not for that, no. No one will pay that. Sorry, Nat. I mean, you're delighted, I'm sure, but you're not going to pay 100 million for a guy that is not number one. You pay 100 million for Harry Kane. You don't pay 100 million for Ivan Toney. He's a good player. I would say good player. He's incredibly effective. He's got brilliant moments. I've loved what he's done since he's come to the Premier League. He's proven everybody wrong, but I do not see a £100 million player in Ivan Toney. I would, if you said to me anything around 50 to 60 would be, what is Ivan now? 27?
27, yeah.
Nearly 28 now?
Yeah, in March, yeah.
In March. So you're talking about a 28-year-old pretty much on top of... No, I wouldn't pay that. I think it's that fee would just be way too much. I think he's got lots of attributes to his game and very effective. But do I think he's a £100 million player? No, I don't.
Well, maybe that's why Brentford have put that price tag on him.
And Brentford need to keep him. They're
Yes.
desperate to have somebody that makes their team tick. And when he comes back, Brentford will be a far better team for having him there. So, yes, I totally agree with putting a price tag that no one will pay on him.